Alright, I thought I'd take y'all along on a ride with this box that I'm purging and kind of let you look at what it is that's in there, how I'm thinking about what I'm getting rid of, keeping. Uh, this one used to be in my collection. This is my old pricing thing that I did to keep track of. Um, it's debatable whether I will keep it though, even though I like Captain Marvel. I prefer him more in some of the spotlight ones I used to have. So, again, this first part of this box is now this one I'll keep because you see the star up there. That is a Mark Jeweler. So, I'm kind of interested in keeping some of the Mark Jewelers that I see um, in comparison to the non ones. Same thing with that. Again, this series here, more, if you look at 57, or I'm sorry, 59 and 61, um, they were interesting ones with stuff and like the storyline and things like that and stuff. So I may kind of go back through them and just kind of see. But again, some of these I'm looking to get trades and move away from the single books themselves simply because it's just taking up space now comparison to what it was. Now, even though I like Ghost Rider, I tried to keep a minimum amount of them. I'm keeping this one a retelling of his origin, even though the cover shows the Hulk. It has nothing to do with it. That was a last minute cover thing. Uh, Frank Robbins' work on number 12. So again, I want to keep that one. Number 29 with a little bit of Doctor Strange in it. And that one I might go ahead and get rid of. Like I said, I don't think there was anything significant for that. Now this one I was keeping because of the Werewolf by Night. I am keeping the Werewolf by Night series. I do enjoy Ghost Rider, but again, you gotta give somewhere. So, and that's when they first meet. So, again, very limited on what I keep, don't keep. So, it becomes a little easier as I go to narrow it down. Now, this one will be the big one for a lot of people to see. Secret Wars. Now, Secret Wars is 1984. Um, when Secret Wars come out, the Crisis on Infinite Earths come out about 2 years later, and Marvel and DC both made significant big changes in their universes in comparison. I personally prefer where they were prior to that. However, the hard part for me with these is at this point, these are sort of my X-Men. And as an X-Men collector, Secret Wars is harder to get rid of for that reason. Because again, this is where we're kind of seeing even Magneto a little more with him. And also X-Men and Spider-Man are stuff that I'm going to continue collecting. And I mean collecting as in the older stuff. So, Secret Wars will probably stay with me. And only because, again, it affects so much of, Spider-Man's universe as well as, you know, the X-Men universe. so I may just hang on to them. And again, even though I personally do not care when Spider-Man switched to the black suited costume, I probably will make it a lighter, a last minute thing if I'm going to get rid of it before I would. And again, these are more from the toy line that I remember. We have that fantastic Doctor Doom cover there, but it also was in the toy one. And of course, the face of Doom. And then you finish with Doom. So, again, like I said, probably hang on to those as I thin stuff down. It's our Doctor Strange from the original series. Now these next, that one I kept from the original series. This one I'm keeping from the original series. It's sort of the Defenders crossover. That one I remember in comic books, as well as that one. Again, not keeping tons of them, just trying to hang on to a few. Again, if you look in 1977, trying to make space, that's a big thing. Now again, loved going to the movies, seeing this. This is the, excuse me, the movie adaptation. And that is the number 2 of that adaptation of that movie. Again, it was only a 2-parter. Okay, excuse me. Alright, now the next thing. Now, Micronauts were a toy line, as well as, even though technically it wasn't as much now, as I say, it wasn't as the exact of these characters comparison to a little different the way it was. Now, one character, and I'll show you as it goes. I'm keeping the first handful because those I remember more than anything. Again, I've got 2 number 1s. Watch out for the lawnmower. We have number 3, number 4, number 5. Now, this one I'm about to show you was my probably first Micronauts that I pulled off the spinner rack. Again, if you know anything about the spinner racks, most of the time they were not consistent. So sometimes you get number 6. And then like this, you get this beautiful number 7. And that right there is stuck in my head for a long time. Even though I'm not a big, Man-Thing fan, I thought that was just a really cool cover for that, as well as how that one was shooting at the car and stuff, and it was them attacking that cop car. It was pretty neat. This one, to my knowledge, was skipped on the spinner rack that next month. And then I think we went to this one that I ended up pulling, number 9. And then at that point I kind of stopped because I'm going straight to number 20. Because I really like the Ant-Man character, so I thought that was kind of a neat to go to him. and I actually have him in there because he's actually, kind of teaming up with them. This one was actually one of the ones I pulled off this spinner rack. And again, they had a big hiatus with very few, because I don't know if it's just because it didn't sell as well, and then they threw it out again. Oh, look, it's a 22. It's got the Toy Spree thing on there. That's always neat. And then 27. And the last one of those that I'm keeping. Again, I had almost finished this. I only had one left to go, but decided that I kind of didn't need them all. But that one's got the X-Men, at least Nightcrawler in it. So, again, trying to kind of build on all of the other X-Men appearances as well as other stuff. So, now, this next series, I'm going to keep all of it. And I'll show you my favorites of it. The Shogun Warriors. Now, over in the corner of my room is a Shogun Warrior. It is the original from my childhood. It is either mine or my brother's. Me and my younger brother both got one. He, again, only one of them survived. We don't know really which one it is, but I'm the one that got it and it's home with me. So, got number 1, number 2. Again, I got a direct number 2, number 3, number 4. Got a direct number 4. And number 8 back there. That's it. I'm out of sequence, but here's the sequence again. Number 5. Number 6. Now, number 7 was the first one I purchased off the stand. If you look at that beautiful book, that was my first purchase off the rack of the Shogun Warriors. Again, knowing that I had a Shogun Warrior, as well as, here it is in comic book form, was just pretty cool. Number 8 did not appear on the spinner rack back in the day. And yes, I scoured the spinner rack, so when I say it wasn't there, it wasn't there. Number 9. Number 10. That is a rough 10, but then this is another number 9. And then much better number 10. It is a direct though. Number 11. Number 11 direct. And number 12. Now, so far, all of these here, except for the one I showed you, was not really on my spinner rack. So, by the time we'd build up to this beauty, and this one's one of the ones that I remember very fondly, is number 13. So again, it's got the whole Gulliver's Travels kind of feel to it with the little people, kind of thing, and him breaking the ropes. So again, 1979, we went from 7, I think I told you there might have been 1, but I think it went from 7 to 13 the next time they actually put it on my spinner rack. So yeah, so when I bought that the next time, I had a lot of holes in my original run of this. Now, I did buy most of these as dollar books pretty much. Number 15, 16. Well, it's making me wonder. I think, yes, there's my number 14. again, it is not. They could do a Shogun Warriors movie, and I guarantee you that there'll be people out there trying to jack up these too. That's what I hate about where Spec was at one time. Now it has kind of calmed down where people aren't. They're realizing that the hot book of the day goes away pretty quick, and they're paying $80 for a book, and then later on finding out that it's a $5 book later on, and people are finding them in dollar bins later on in years. So I say you gotta stick with what you really enjoy. Well, Fantastic Four making an appearance in number 20. But to cover that, there was 17 that you've seen. There's 18. And the reason Fantastic Four appeared in 20 because they're in number 19. This is the end of this series right here. So when you get to 20, they're finishing with it as they go to the 50-cent price. We just hit into the 80s. So again, with this, we go right to 1980 at the end of it. So again, keeping those for the combination of the fact that it's a toy as well as I actually have one of them still. Now rum, I'm not doing that as much. I have number 1. Now this I was only a handful away from too, and then just started getting rid of them. I decided I'd keep like ones that I remember, and I'll show you that one now. This was the first rum that I got off my spinner rack, which is number 9. Again, I got me 2 of those. This was another one on my spinner rack, number 15. So I kept that one. This next set, number 17, the Uncanny X-Men make an appearance. Again, we're getting up to around 1980, so again, this would have been really my height of my X-Men. Number 17, number 18. We got another number 18. And I kept Rogue's second appearance. I got her first appearance now in the Avengers, and now have that again. She is back into, and yes, that's Rogue. She is with the X-Men stuff, so again, I want to keep that. Now, this is Starriers. I believe it was a toy line, as well as it was potentially was going to be a cartoon, but I think it ended up just being a toy line is all it ended up being with a comic book series. So number 1, and again you can tell 2 in a 4-part miniseries. Number 3, and finally the questions, number 4. And I have one extra one of those, number 2. Again, another one of those potential, toy ones. And yes, I know ROM was a toy. I love the commercial for it at the time, but it's a big series, so I'm not sure it was one of those I want to do all of it. And it's not expensive if I really want. I've got most of the bigger keys out of it, so it's really not hard to go back and buy. Robotech. This is another one of those series in the same way, based out of a toy. And we get Blip magazine, 1983. Now this is one of the few that I kept of the war ones of that, because that was one of the ones I remember taking off the spinner rack around that time. Just the whole cover is cool. There, him coming home, everybody pointing a gun at him, and welcome home, soldier, kind of thing. So it was just a really cool book that way. Now, Little Kids with a Little, featuring Calvin. Again, I'd like to actually get all of these. I actually find those to be really entertaining now compared to what I would have done as a kid in comparison. So, Young Allies reprints some stuff. It's the 70th anniversary of some stuff. Now, I am a big Zorro fan because I love the pulp style characters and everything. And I do have almost this whole series. These are Random 179. And of course, this beautiful Alex Toth. Look at that. Alex Toth did that work. I love Alex Toth's work. Over at Red Circle, he done the Black Hood covers on some of those probably around before this time, just after it, this was. So I really enjoy it though, because it's just, Alex Toth's work is so great. First appearance of Bloodstone. Yes, the real Bloodstone. Not where they decided to throw a woman in a outfit and run her around and try to make all little comic book boys, go into heat or something. This is the actual Bloodstone that they should have paired off and would be great to see in a movie. Number 2, that gives us our first appearances of him. And this, which I don't know if I've got it in here to complete it the way it's supposed to, but I know it's in here and I've completed this. I completed the Marvel Presents. This is the true Guardians of the Galaxy. Now these are who should have been in the movie. And this is the way it should have been, but we didn't really get Guardians of the Galaxy. We got a new revamped version of it. Number 4, number 5, number 6, and again, this was their first real standalone quote series. They really took over the last half of this run. Number 7, number 8, a little bit of Silver Surfer making an appearance. Number 9, number 10, again, number 11, that was the one I think I just picked up that finished my series, and number 12. Again, really enjoy that version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Charlie 27 was always a cool character to me, so prefer that one over any of the other ones. This is a Tales of Suspense reprint. This is number 50 and 56. It reprints with the Mandarin's first appearance, but this is a real Tales of Suspense. This is early Captain America. Remember, Captain America ran originally, then they kind of stopped it. He come back, and when he come back, he did the All Winners Squadron. I think they did with him maybe in the 50s, and that eventually was supposed to be someone else, and then eventually when they brought him in earlier, as they brought back Captain America in the regular series, that is when they ended up having to put it in Tales of Suspense, because Marvel got duped by DC and was only able to produce, I think, 8 titles at that time, and they got around it by combining Iron Man and Captain America together. So, their Tales of Suspense 82-84 reprint. Tales of Suspense 90. And then we switch over to Tales to Astonish. A little bit of Black Knight fighting against Giant Man and the Wasp. This is our first cameo of the leader. This is where we get Giant Man and the Incredible Hulk. So this is early Hulk, early Avengers character. Same thing with this one. Number 66. Number 69. And we get Submariner in Tales to Astonish number 72, along with the Incredible Hulk. And the last one in that box, again, not much getting rid of out of that box, but again, is number 74 of Tales to Astonish. So, what do you think? What in here would have you gotten rid of? What would you never get rid of? Again, I've had to dwindle things down, so again, some things have to go. So eventually I'll look around and see if I can replace certain things with, just trade, stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this little walk through the box and kind of how I'm thinking about stuff and why I'm keeping it. Again, my goal is to get it down to, I think I've got 86 boxes, short boxes left. I'd like to get it down to, say, 50. So it's a pretty good chunk in there that I'm trying to whittle down. I'll see as I go. If I put together another, say, 12 or so, my goal is by Thanksgiving weekend, I'm going to try to have what I would like to sell. Me and him talked about the guy I take him to a day in that week, and then we'll go from there and kind of see what happens. I'm really hoping what I can get to him will be everything I'm trying to get rid of, so I can kind of, I'm really biting in my nails to get to my cards. I'd love to get to those and start going through them, getting rid of stuff, and kind of putting together my sets the way I want to. But I'm trying to focus on one project at a time. I keep staring at them in the corner of the room and want to get to them, but again, it's just, I got to do one thing at a time and try to focus. So I keep trying to do these. I've already done a bunch of boxes that I'm going to kind of go back through and see if I can thin it down again. So it's a little bit long video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said, I appreciate all the thumbs up, likes, the new follows, and like I said, y'all have a fantastic Monday, and I'll talk to you later.